I want to talk about something I'm seeing all over the internet today and this week, and it is about the AI haters. And I love people who have an opinion, and I am all for having conversations, but the anti AI crowd is getting louder. And honestly, I get it, right? I totally understand, but I think the problem is they're trying to solve the problem wrong. Okay. And I want to show you a little bit about what I mean for this. So, everybody's talking about working smarter, not harder, right? Use AI, batch content, do email marketing, do all these things. This is what we do for our business, right? All I want to do is be a coach, but all these other pieces become part of it. So automate the workflow, all of those things. But what ends up happening is those people who are saying, don't use AI, or your AI sounds very generic, don't use the M dashes. It means, by the way, I was taught that in university way back when to use M dashes. So anyways, just a side note. But what happens is that people are using AI very generically, very badly. And that's why people don't love it, right? Coming into my container, no AI allowed. I get it. But at the same time, when we can use something that's going to help us with our business, with working smarter, with critical thinking, it seems crazy to not look at that. And again, I'm not here to convince you of anything. So if you're like anti-AI, cool, scroll past, see you later, I'm okay with that too. But I want you to understand that shitty AI content is because the foundations aren't there. That's the king. That's it. What happens with good AI is that you're able to create your content, you're able to create your images, you're able to schedule some of them, automate some of your business, right? It's like having a VA and a social media manager all in one. But if it sounds like crap, nobody needs that either, right? So what I want to do is I want to show you a little bit about what I've done using AI to help build my business from the ground up. That's the foundation. So I'll tell you this right now. Have you ever sat to, wrote a piece of article or for Substack or for Facebook or some type of post, and you can't find an image, and you're not sure what image to use, and maybe the content's not great, and did I spell check that? What's going on with that? And there's this whole war going on in your head. Okay, I have been there. I have done that. I've bought the t-shirts many times. And what happens is we go back and forth, and then let's say we press go and there's crickets. Nobody reads it. Nobody sees it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did all that. My writing was not good. My images were not good, whatever. Okay. First of all, just know that that is not actually true. People with viral videos and viral content aren't always making sales either. So just know that's true. But here's the thing. It's not about your actual content. It's about your system, right? Your system probably failed because if you're doing everything manually and you're focusing only on AI, but you're not doing anything from the foundations, that's the hard part. That's the part that is going to cause you problems each and every time. So when people push back on AI, they're right about one thing, right? Generic AI output is the problem, right? When it doesn't sound like you, doesn't feel like you, doesn't create the essence of who you are, your business and your identity, which is where obviously I love to come into. That is spotted in 3 seconds. We can find it. It over explains. It uses words maybe you don't use, right? I speak very quickly. I use my hands. I'm very animated, right? If my words don't sound like the way I am in lives or real life, that's when it's written in a very generic way and people spot it and they don't like it. Okay. So that's not a foundation. That's the foundation problem. That's not a tool problem. That's not the AI's problem, right? So when you are built into the tool and you use the tool with your identity, with your foundations, with your words, with your information, AI no longer is replacing you. We're not outsourcing our brain to AI. It amplifies you. And this is where it comes in. You are still the operator of every tool you use, whether it's Canva, whether it's AI, whether it is PayPal, right? You still have to be a part of that. So thinking smarter, how can I use this to help me, my business, my identity, my essence, my work to be better? That's what I want you to think about. And so when you're still within that space of, input, write me a post, output, post is crap, right? This is how it works. So what we want to do is, we're not outsourcing our brain, we're using the tool like a critical thinker that we already know is like sitting back and forth having a really good conversation with somebody, right? This is the key. I said to my AI the other day, I was like, I want to create a tool that I want to use for my business. It's going to help me keep myself organized with my, hex codes for my colors, my fonts, everything to do with my identity, voice, that type of thing, and create it into a foundational document, then bring that into AI. And that is what we did this week. We're currently on day 4 of a 5-day content machine challenge, and I created different tools to help us do that. So the DNA summary challenge, which is basically everything that your brand needs, your colors, your tones, your vibe, all of that stuff into the foundation. And then that tool is used to help you create images, help you create content and captions, et cetera, et cetera. Day 2 and 3, we use that to really amplify the hook, the image, the caption. And we were able to do it all. I did it live with my group in the AI Identity Lab in under 20 minutes, right? So now your content, it feels like you, sounds like you, looks like you, your images feels like you, sounds like you, looks like you, and we're able to do it quite quickly. So we're no longer sitting there wondering, what should I post? Or does this sound like me? Or does this look like me? Does this image feel good? Is it a stock photo? Is it an old selfie? None of that. Because when you show up with your AI foundations, and the output looks and feels more like you, not like the template, not like the generic stuff you see. Now, I love when people try different AI trends. Right now, the big one is like the notebook with the fun pictures. I love that, right? It's amazing. But if you didn't change the prompt, or didn't add your own photo, or didn't make it about you, it would be still Sally down the street, which of course wouldn't feel like you. And that's what's happening with AI when people are using it incorrectly. So there's a huge difference between sounding like everybody else and sounding like yourself. So we want clean, we want confident, we want it to feel and look like you in your business. So the tools that I created was the weekly content batch planner, the brand DNA summary, and we're doing a carousel maker today, and we also did a hook image yesterday. So there was 4 tools in the full challenge, and I want to give one of those tools away to you. So if you are interested in the weekly content batch planner, post planner somewhere in the comments, and I'll send it to you. But here's the thing with that: the planner itself works when you have your DNA brand summary in place, already built. Now, we did that on day 1 of the challenge, and you can actually get this whole challenge for free if you join the AI Identity Lab, because it's a 7-day free trial, and you can get all of that information. So once you've created your DNA brand summary, you bring that with you everywhere you go, and everything feels the same. Everything feels like you, right? It no longer looks like somebody else. It no longer it feels very generic. It's no longer that AI slop. That is super, super important. So if you want to grab that planner first, please put planner below. If you want to join the AI Identity Lab for that 7-day free trial, you can get the whole challenge. As I said, we're on day 4 today. Day 5 is tomorrow. We're going to wrap everything together in a nice, pretty bow. It is not an accident. This is how I do all of the things that I do with my image, with my images, with my visibility, with all of those things. So remember, it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and not handing your brain off to a robot. You are still the operator. This means you don't do it manually, but you do it with energy that you can spend on other areas, right? My business coach and mentor, Suzanne Taylor King, I'll post her and link below. She says that when it comes to AI, it's about making sure she has more time to do the things she loves, right? That's her with her family. That's more AI stuff. I'm not going to lie, because that's what we love to do when we play with curiosity. But that's what it's all about. It's not about handing it off and never thinking about it again. It is, you are the operator to your business. And that's the end. And AI can help you with that. And again, if you're not into that and AI is not your thing, you can just scroll past, okay? You don't need to worry about it. I'm not here to convince you of everything, but I do want those people who aren't sure and see all of those anti-AI conversations about remove this, do that. You don't have to. You just need to have the foundations in place. So if you want that planner, comment planner below. I'll send it your way. And if you're interested in joining the AI Identity Lab to get that 7-day free trial to do this whole challenge with us, please, let's do that as well. Anyways, have yourself a fantastic one, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.